What is the difference between this right nostril flow and left nostril flow? What will be the impact or the effect of that in our life? To understand that, we need to know how the yogis are perceiving, seeing this universe. According to yoga, the whole universe is made up of 5 elements. They are in gross form as well as subtle form. Earth, water, air, fire, space. 5 different elements. Anything existing, it will be coming either one element or combination of these 5 elements. The whole universe created or formed or existing with these 5 elements. In one of the sessions, we will explore that in detail. As of now, we can understand everything has coming with this combination. We human beings also made up of these 5 elements. Within us, we have the earth element, water element, air element, fire element, space element. And these elements has the combination of 3 distinct qualities. In Sanskrit, it's called sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattvic element, rajasic element, tamasic quality, not element. Sattvic quality, rajasic quality, tamasic quality. We study about that also in some other session. Here our focus is on prana, pranic flow, the vital force, the life force, the energy. So when we are regulating the breath through that, as we reach the pranic flow, the energy field, which also have these three qualities. And yesterday we saw this energy within our body, in our subtle body. There are centers, energy centers. From there, going through all the different space parts of the body, through nadis, the energy channels, which is taking the energy, plenty of them. In that, these three nadis, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, the main ones. Ida, the left side, Pingala, the right side, Sushumna in the center line. This breath flow, this nadi which is carrying that energy, also has these three qualities: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. That's why I said yesterday, sun energy, moon energy. When the right side is activated, when the flow is there on the right side, which is connected with your left brain, when your left side is activated, which is connected with your right brain. So if you look a little bit more about it, the Ida Nadi, the left side, the flow of left side, which have the passive energy. That's why it's related with the moon. Moon is a very symbolic, okay, based on the quality. Right side, which is connected with the left brain activity, the flow indicates of dynamism, active, energetic. So the left side is passive, right side is dynamic, active. Then we saw, okay, if one side is active more, other side is less active, using the technique and to bring the breath flow balanced. So the idea is this balanced flow will go through this Sushumna, the center nadi. That means left side flow is passive, right side flow is active, the center flow, balanced flow, which is neutral, which is balanced. In day-to-day life, we need both nadis for various activities. But if we want to go inward, meditation and further in this spiritual practice, if we want to travel, we want to have this balanced one, which is the center nadi, which has to be activated. Why? This Ida nadi, it's more subjective. It's going more inward. It's more into that passive. But this Pingala, it's more objective. That's why it is getting into that dynamic mode, dynamic action. Now, if you see these three qualities, we saw that Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So the Ida is more connected with Sattvic. Pingala is Rajasic. That's how the dynamism will come into place. They also say the left side, it is feminine energy. The right side, masculine energy. If left side is yin, right side is yang. The same way we say that, right? Moon, left side is moon, right side is sun. Because the right side is connected with the left side brain, which means more logical, more analytical, more fact-based, research-based. The left side is active, which is connected with the right brain, which means intuition-based, artistic, beauty-related. All the activities need certain energy, but what is conducive to get into that energy? Just by observation, which is dominant, because the nasal cycle, it's a on its own constant flow with changes. So what they found, if there is some issues, some diseases, or something is not working properly, this breath flow will indicate. Suppose if a person's right side is only active all the time, then that person, even they may be go to sleep, they may be relaxing, but their sleep, their relaxation is not fully effective. Why? Because this one side flow more, right side flow more, left side flow is less. Various ways experiments are done, and they were checking of thought process, analysis, and action. How this breath flow is indicative. So now what we want to do, we don't need to simply believe because it is written many thousand years back and told by many masters and teachers. We can bring the practice, and through the practice, we can examine, we can explore, and bring that understanding, awareness, what is really happening. For example, energy centers, chakras. You can notice in many books, many colors are given, right? From root chakra to the crown chakra, names given, nice drawings, plenty of music to do this, to do that. If you just believe because it is written in the book, it is told by many, there is no use. It can be identified only by our own practice and experience. Practicing pranayama, a right way of practicing, a regular practicing is one step towards that. Why? This whole practice is very subjective. Anybody can say, unless you practice, you will not get the confirmation. Your own experience only will give the confirmation. But you may ask this question, why I have to examine, why I have to explore, why I have to confirm. Remember, this whole practice is to search, to know the answer, what is life, what is death. It is to know what is truth, what is reality. If we are looking for prana, if we want to experience what is prana, the aim is not to achieve anything else. Instead, to know the truth. Okay, by knowing the truth, what we will get? Can I become a great yoga teacher? Can I become rich? Can I live 1,000 years? Can I become famous? No. The whole idea of knowing truth is to have total freedom, to get rid of all the dependencies, to be in joy, to be in peace each and every moment without doing anything. I have to be free. I have to be in peace. I have to be in joy without any terms and conditions. At any time, at any place, with anybody. If you understand the aim, the direction clearly, then when you are practicing, your attention will be very well directed towards the goal. Otherwise, this whole yoga practice, very easily we can get deviated. Especially the deeper you do pranayama practice, your own experience bring the secrets of life, reality of life. If you don't give attention, very easily you can divert it. And also many books talk about various powers, this and that and all those things. We common people, practitioners, will be so much fascinated, intrigued by those powers, and the aim will be different. Now, when we understand the difference first, the right flow, left flow, and when we are doing pranayama, all the subtle movements, all the subtle changes will indicate not only related with the breath, related with the body, as well as the mind. We simply say sun energy, moon energy. We simply say masculine energy, feminine energy. But basically, energy is same. How it is connecting with anything, the energy transformation is taking place. That's what we want to have, that awareness, and bring into that observing state or neutral state. We say the example, electricity, the power is the same, but based on which device it is connecting, the output is different. Like these qualities, say sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, fundamentally coming from the same energy. How these five elements are divided because of the connection with the different things, based on the quality, that energy is functioning as fire, as a water, as a air, as a space, everything. Now, when we receive also this experience of this energetic flow, right side, left side. Now, we don't want to limit that. We want to go further. In order to go to that further condition, we need to divert this into this neutral state. Balancing between Ida and Pingala, we want to activate the Sushumna. So what the yogis did, so they divided this, the same energy, same prana, into, based on the actions, into 5 different categories: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. We will see about it in another session. Now, what happens by this pranayama practice? The categories will be disappearing. These prana will come together into one, all these 5 categories. Fundamentally, they are one. Based on the actions, it is divided. By pranayama practice, we want to get rid of the division, bring back into that fundamental state, oneness state. So here it is divided, sun energy, moon energy. We don't want to stay in sun energy, or we don't want to stay in moon energy. Instead, overcome of these deviations, we want to get into this neutral state, Sushumna flow. Why we have to get into that neutral state? In order to know the reality which is not very obvious. We see only the outer layer of our existence. We want to go to the inner core of our existence. Our senses always going on outward, so we want to reverse that, turn that to inward, and we want to know the total existence, not partial existence. So you can continue the practice, enjoy the practice, only if you have this interest. If you don't have that interest, then this whole process will be torturing. Early morning, getting up and doing this inhalation, exhalation, you don't enjoy. So you need to review yourself. Okay, are you really interested to know your reality? Are you really interested to know the other dimension of our existence? Then you will show some interest. In coming sessions, I will introduce few basic postures in order to prepare before pranayama practice. Maybe few sessions we will do. Those who have any breathing issues, any conditions, before starting the practice, you can do. Also, like this Kapalabhati Kriya, other Kriyas. So keep your props with you, chair, blocks. few minutes we will explore. That will give you a better preparation condition. Also, when you have some kind of special conditions like nasal blockage, imbalance between the right side, left side, numbness, all these things related. The techniques, varieties of techniques, but not definitely like asana. Within pranayama, there are a number of techniques out there. We will explore as many techniques as possible, but it is not like asana practice that you have to do different postures to address different parts of the body. Very few techniques good enough to have a long, continuous pranayama practice. That one technique or two technique, whatever, eventually, after learning these various things, that technique you need to do continuously. There are certain techniques, it is very much related to certain conditions, like Kapalbhati or Bhastrika. It's not that you need to do all the time. There are certain techniques you have to practice at the beginning stage more. As your practice is getting better, then you are going into other techniques, then that techniques are good enough. In coming sessions, we will look into Ujjayi. Ujjayi means gaining victory over the expansion. So here we are connecting with the breath through that prana. So it's about expansion of the breath. Ujjayi, Sanskrit word ut plus jaya. If you are already practicing yoga quite some time, this ut is not a new word. You have been hearing that again and again many times. Utthita Trikonasana, Utthanasana, Utkhatasana. So this meaning ut, it's a prefix meaning extension, expansion. Jaya means victory, triumphant, gaining victory. So by this technique, the aim is to learn how to lengthen. So here what we are aiming, breath. To learn how to lengthen the breath and doing it successfully, achieving it successfully. We have mainly these three aspects whenever we connect with the breath. Inhalation, exhalation. Now there is one more. There is a space or gap or natural suspension of the breath after inhalation. There is a transition time, right? Same way, after exhalation, there is a transition time. There is a space, there is a gap. Now, if we do that deliberately, we want to increase that gap in two occasions. After inhalation, which is called retention, kumbhaka. After exhalation, before inhalation, that gap increased. So exhalation, retention. Whatever the techniques we practice, all will revolve around only these aspects. Inhalation, inhalation, retention, exhalation, exhalation, retention. There is one more category or one more aspect which is called Kevala Kumbhaka, which is the culmination, end of pranayama practice. When we practice inhalation, when we practice exhalation, and when we do inhalation retention, when we do exhalation retention, by right way of practicing, the final result, end result is Kevala Kumbhaka. So we are doing this way of practicing to reach that Kevala Kumbhaka. Like Ashtanga, overall we say that, right? The aim is towards Samadhi from Yama onwards. So within Pranayama practice, the aim is Kevala Kumbhaka. What happens? Without any effort, this right left nostril flow, instead of moving downward, when you inhale, go to the respiratory system and the exhalation respiratory system. This right left nostril flow, instead of going downward, moving through this Sushumna channel and going upward, which is completely let go all the effort of breathing. The retention happens on its own inside. Effortless retention. Kevala Kumbhaka. Having said that, is it possible to really experience that? Is it possible really need to get into that direction? Definitely possible, only if your lifestyle supports that. Asana practice, you may be involving in various activities, still you go and do asana practice, manageable going on. If you go deeper into pranayama practice, your lifestyle should be to go more inward. If you want to have various things to achieve, you want to have a big house, big family, travel all over, eat varieties of food, doing this, doing this. So if you have so many interests in life, the external life, along with that, you have interest to go to Kevala Kumbhaka also in Pranayama. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. Why? It's opposite direction. This one you need to go more inward. So your life, day-to-day life is completely moving, working, functioning towards this inverse journey. Because the body need to be supportive. That's why every text, every masters, every teachers are repeatedly saying asana practice, mastery of asana practice is very much necessary, important to go into deeper pranayama practice. The body need to be ready. And just not just asana practice, probably not set in many places, but keep that in mind, your lifestyle. What you do in the whole day will bring a lot of impact in pranayama practice. Starting from what time you eat, what time you sleep. So we are practicing morning time means you have to get up earlier. To get up earlier, you should sleep well to be fresh, to be focused. To sleep well, you have to go to bed earlier. To go to bed earlier, you need to finish your dinner earlier. That means your dinner should be done before 6 in the evening. You should go to bed before 10. When you are able to bring this cycle, this routine, then you will see that your body also getting into some rhythm, which is very much required to get into the subtle aspects. Based on the sun moon movement, even these texts saying the right nostril flow, left nostril flow will be affected based on the moon cycle. We will study that. You can understand the connection of our body. That's why every animals you can see that their life is based on sun moon movement, except the human animal. We think we are advanced, we are technically so powerful, we can do anything. No, the body will be the same still. So whatever we practice after our program, if you want to continue, you want to go deeper, is definitely in your hand based on your interest and the way you live. I have a few more questions. If you have any other questions, please post it. The jumping kind of pain in left temple since yesterday and today morning. After pranayama, I feel left side neck is also tensed. It becomes better after some massage. Right side nostril was blocked. After opening, I feel the pain on left temple also released a lot. At last, when breath without making efforts. I feel warm in both side line of nose from forehead, inner corner of eyes, side of nose, corner of mouth until chin. It goes to chest, abdomen, root of thighs. When goes to the root of thigh, only have feeling on left side. No feeling on right side. So this is the observation. Okay, good to know. The question is breath released the muscle and nerve system? Or first nerve system get released, then breath get released also, I mean the muscle. Is there any relationship with the ordering? The whole pranic flow, pranic movement, it starts with the gross body through the breath, but it is connecting with our subtle body. It looks like first it works on our nervous system or muscles, even the joints. But from there, actually, it is connecting with our nadis, nadi flow. That's what we are adjusting, we are connecting with the subtle body. That's how, even by meditation, doing on certain energy centers, certain chakras, certain healing is taking place. There are many cases through pranayama, through meditation, their back pain, certain other body conditions got healed. But by lifestyle, they are getting it back again and again. That's a different story. But in yogic terms, in yogic language, if you are in pain, if you are in any kind of disturbance or disease in your body, in yogic terms, which means the pranic flow is not proper. The prana movement has certain blockage. The nadis are not functioning properly. Knowing this imbalance and balancing is the key, is the not really the aim, but it will give the idea how this our energy body is functioning. But remember, our aim is not to just got healed by pranayama practice. But you can understand the root from the energy body, it goes all the way to your skin. What we experience on the gross body is the impact, the condition, the effect of our pranic body. That's why it can bring a lot of self-healing, not only mentally as well as physically, provided you are able to practice, you are able to give time for that. So if you ask me what is the order, I would say this one is not just about nervous system, or it is not just about the muscles, it's going beyond that. But at the beginning, yes, it is on the superficial area, which is the muscles. To go deeper into nervous system, it has to be further. So you may easily get rid of some physical pain. But if there is some nervous disorder, it may take some time. It will take time to penetrate there. Again, how do you practice based on that? So a lot of relationship, and it goes furthermore. Okay, next question. I feel not comfortable on my throat when I regulate the breath, especially on exhalation. It's less when my head down, deep toward chin. Should I move my head down always? Yes, if you are already using Jalandhara Bandha, if you are already going into the head, head down area, you continue the practice. Though I don't introduce yet, you continue the practice. We will see that in coming days. Okay, next question. When I compare the two nostrils every morning, the right nostril has less flow than the left nostril, but my body always seems a little shorter on the right side. Shouldn't the left nostril be blocked then? No. There is no connection exactly with the condition of your body for the breath flow, the physical condition. It may affect, but not necessarily it has to affect. Okay? So right side shorter, left side longer, doesn't matter. Okay, same person. Even now, there is still a slight pain in the right lower back. The left nostril breathes naturally, and the right side has slightly weak flow. Does having pain mean that the length of the side is also reduced from armpits? Okay, understand the idea. When there is some body condition with the breath, yes, we can look into that, but not necessary. The right left nostril is only indicative of the physical condition. It's going more than that. But sometimes we use certain technique working on one side. We will learn those techniques, right? Nadi Shuddhi, as well as Surya Bedana, Chandra Bedana, these kind of techniques. Using a particular technique, we can overcome the limitations of the posture also. But when the flow is there, right, left side, it is not only limited to body, it is limited to overall system, which has many other systems, physical, physiological, as well as your mind, furthermore, the energy system, right? So various aspects are there, what you experience on your breath flow, right and left. Okay. Next, I observe The day is near the new moon. Today is new moon and full moon cycles. People with short temper or weak nerves, their emotions are very excited during this time. I myself also feel my emotions are affected. What breathing exercises will help people to be more balanced during the above time? Breath will help, techniques will help, but if the mind is not balanced, the mind will overpower this breathing pattern. Keep this in your mind. The mind is the big boss here. It overrides your body condition, it overrides your breath condition, it overrides your energy condition, everything. When the mind is active. Okay. So we will learn what kind of, even along with asana practice, and what kind of breathing techniques will be helpful, and how you have to do, especially when the emotions are overpowering. In fact, even based on the emotions also. Then combination of asana practice, especially in the Iyengar way, and pranayama practice will be very much helpful. At least that moment it will take care until the mind interferes. Okay. So even the pranayama practice you can do based on the moon cycle. So that's what we want to understand. We want to practice after knowing the basic techniques. And also, not necessarily the moon cycle will bring same kind of condition effect for everybody, because there are other aspects are there whom will be affected, whom will be less affected, whom will be totally not affected. That's why we need to know this. Even you do yoga practice for many centuries, not even 100 years, many centuries. You studied from great masters, and you may be practicing for many centuries. Still, what we know about this existence is just the tip of our nail, because this whole existence is so vast. Even many years, many centuries of practice, we will come to know only that we don't know many things. Then why we are to really struggling to practice and doing this and that? In order to know that we don't need to do anything. Here, we don't need to achieve anything particularly. So, we learn those techniques along with this understanding, just to manage some temporary challenges in order to get back to practice. You will see. The left and right, next question. The left and right nasal cavities can be improved by opening the armpits through the skills given by the teacher. But the improvement is short lived. How to maintain the balance on both sides of the nasal cavity? Cannot. It can be done only when by going into deeper pranayama practice. In day-to-day life, this flow is required. Your right side flow, left side flow changes. It is required to get into the activity as long as the mind is active. You will get some time that balanced flow, but it will be a very short time, short moment. So for which activity, which side it has to flow, that's what we need to learn. I am reading, which side it has to flow. I want to go to sleep, which side it has to flow. I want to meditate, how the flow has to be changed. And I am doing some very active work, which side it has to flow. This we need to understand. So then while you are doing, the flow is not in that direction. That's where using this technique, you change the flow. That's the main idea. Then with the pranayama practice and meditation practice, when you are getting into deeper meditation, then you are getting into this neutral state. That is the aim. So as of now, you observe, yes, and it will not the balance won't be there all the time as long as your mind is active. Okay. Then it's based on the action. What is the action of the mind? What is your physical action? We need this flow. Okay. We will learn. Okay. Next question. When class ends, there is a little numbness on the forehead and disappeared soon. Is that normal? Any reason? Keep observing. Beginning time of practice, you will experience various changes while practicing, after practicing. That's why after finishing your pranayama practice, you need to lie down for 10-15 minutes to relax well, to get into the passive state, to readjust, to balance the whole system. Then with the continuous practice, things will change. If you experience this kind, say now you said you feel numbness on the forehead. If you experience something like this continuously over a period of time, prolonged period of time, then we need to look into that. Even say after Shavasana, still you feel it and it is there for a long time. Then we have to see, is it because of your body condition or because of your breathing regulation technique? Okay. So keep observe and let me know. Okay. Next question. If you want to know more about the resonance process of the energy center, left and right channels and chakras, is there any relationship between the contact with the senses, such as sound and the flow of breathing? Very much. Can you share some of your experience? Okay, I can't share my experience in detail as of now, but the whole existence we can reduce to nothing but vibration. Like now we say inhale, exhale. It is also nothing but vibration. If there is vibration means sound is there. If there is sound is there means that's where it is keeping this all existence binding together, connecting together. Okay? So our senses also working based on that. Not only the sound, even the eyes and all the senses related with that. Right now, don't go into very detail. Let's go step by step. So we have different type of practitioners. So one step at a time. Maybe this subject we have to discuss after some time of practice. We need to understand first and experience first. Okay, will do. I have two more questions. Can we find the clues about energy change? For example, in asana practice, when just going to Adho Mukha Svanasana, left nostril is free, and with a certain extension in the pose, extending the pose, suddenly change to the right side free. Then going to forward, again come back to left domination. Good. It's good that you are observing that. The clues, the possibilities, why it is changing. When we are going into the asana, the activation of the right side, left side. Okay, now it is not only the physical condition, physical, physiological system, organs, right lung, left lung, like this, the various organs within that asana, organic system. And furthermore, how do you breathe? One more thing, what is your mind condition? Is it your right side active or left side active? Now, what you notice the change is based on these factors. Now, what you can experiment, you want to deliberately focus on the left side. Remember the left side flow, which is feminine energy, passive energy, subjective energy. So in asana practice, you want to go for that passive mode. Then you can experiment bringing the action, bringing the flow on the left side. When you can do by wish, okay, I want to bring the flow on the left side. It's only when you have the control of the whole posture, whole asana. And only when you can do the flow of the breath with that posture control. Okay? So look into all these aspects, whatever I mentioned. The problem is our mind is always thinking about what is next. You may be in Adho Mukha Svanasana, the mind already focusing on next pose, next action of within that pose. Or the mind is so much active about what you will do after practice. If you are able to stay any action you do within the pose, if your mind is so much focused in that particular action and able to observe the reaction connected with that particular action, then only you are able to bring this control. Like what? Same posture, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now your action is lifting the inner upper thigh, inner corners of the upper thigh. When you are doing that action, what is happening with your spine? What is happening with your back thigh? What is happening with your outer thigh? What is happening with your breath flow? What is happening with the whole posture with that one action? You have to be that much observant. Action is one, various responses, various reaction. Are you able to look, observe these various postures, movement? That observation bring the clues. Okay, so that's why when we do asana practice, it's not something physical exercise. The implication go all the way to our energy field. Okay, and last question. When practicing pranayama, you choosing body position for long time maintain. Why you choose low support for spine in lying on the back. I feel myself can get more clear and free breath in higher support as bolster, even Setubandha Sarvangasana. We are going step by step. Like today, I introduced using the blanket. So we will learn how to use other supports. And I want you to see the difference lying down flat, lying down with support, also using the support various ways. With the posture, what is the connection? With the breath, how it is changing. So you need to be clear about it. You also with the various techniques when you are doing. Okay. So we will introduce one by one. So I'm trying to go step by step. And also, as we progress further, we will shift slowly more into sitting position. We learn supine positions, practicing there also. But as we progress, we will shift more to the sitting position. Okay. Hey, that's all for today. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Rest well, sleep well, without any dreams, be fresh with a lot of energy. Namaste.